Today I'm going to share 10 travel hacks that make travel and life so much easier. So are you ready? Let's go. Okay, welcome back everybody. My name is Linda Jones. I am the CEO of Crafted Travel Company and the author of Travel Agent Secrets. This channel is all about everything travel planning, travel secrets and tips and tricks, as well as destination reviews and ideas and travel inspiration. So if that sounds good, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Today we're talking about 10 travel hacks that make your life and travel so much easier. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so tip number one has to do with coronavirus, but this is going to be our life going forward forever and ever and ever. So as you know, right now, it's pretty common to always have hand sanitizer with you. But I think going forward, it's just gonna always be your go-to. You're gonna always wanna have it with you. Not only hand sanitizer, but also the antibacterial wipes. When you go to the airports, TSA has actually changed their requirements. You know how usually it's 3 ounces that you have to maintain, 3 ounces or under for any kind of liquids that you bring. With hand sanitizers, they've actually upped it to 12 ounces. So you can actually take a pretty good size bottle. So I would always bring hand sanitizer and always bring antibacterial wipes. And as soon as you sit down on the plane or train or rental car, I would take your wipe and wipe everything down that you're gonna touch and then finish off with your hand sanitizer. And then you know everything has been sterilized or is best to your ability, and you should be good to go. Tip number 2 is to always keep a go bag of all of your chargers, extension cords, and things like that. So the worst thing to do is on the day of travel or when you're packing, trying to run around and unplug it from your walls, or trying to remember where you put that extension cord, or trying to share where the last brick is for the plugs. So what I always like to do is keep an extra set of everything that I need, including some things that I don't use on a daily basis, and just keep them in a small bag, kind of a go bag. And so in it, I'll have my phone chargers, my computer chargers, or iPad, or whatever it is that I usually bring. I will bring the power adapter, especially if you're going to a foreign country, whatever power adapter you need. I usually have a set that has like a bunch of different countries in one, so I have that with me. An extension cord, because as you know, sometimes you're in an airport and there's only one plug and it's way the hell over there and you need to go over here. So an extension cord, a splitter if you're sharing headphone jacks. The other thing you could do is bring I saw this from somebody else. You actually bring, it's a power adapter that has 2 plugs in it, or it's a power adapter that has one plug-in plug and then one USB or a couple USBs. That way, if all of the plugs are taken, you could still put that device in, plug that person's stuff in, so you're not taking that person off, but then still have the USB so that you can charge your items as well. So keep all of that in a ready-to-go bag, so every time you go on a trip, you just have that ready to throw in your bag and you know you have everything that you need. Okay, number 3 has to do with a go bag again, but this time do it with all of your travel sized favorites. So if you have a favorite shampoo, conditioner, face wash, lotion, any of those type of things that you always have to bring on a trip, if you have a favorite brand, get the travel size of that brand and just keep it in a little to-go bag. That way, when you are leaving for a trip, you're not having to try to squeeze your favorite shampoo into those tiny little travel bottles. You already have it ready to go and ready to throw in your bag and get on your way. Tip number 4, bring noise canceling headphones. This is one of my biggest tips, because the worst thing that you can possibly do is get on an airplane and have a screaming baby. Or in my case, I actually was on a flight to Japan and I was sitting near the front and could hear the flight attendant, a very loud flight attendant, talking all night long in an overnight flight, which was not fun. So have those noise canceling headphones so you can block out any kind of noise that you don't want. It's also better for when you're watching movies to be able to have that isolated sound. But remember that airlines still have the typical phone jack type of a plug. So always have any kind of an adapter that you would need, whether it's an adapter dongle for your phone or an adapter to be able to plug into the airline's plug. Either way, have the adapters and have noise canceling headphones for a much smoother and nicer journey. Okay, tip number 5 is buy a tile square. And I'm going to actually put a picture of it right there. Tile is I believe it's tracked by Bluetooth. It's basically a mobile GPS. So you throw that into your checked luggage, and then no matter where it goes, you can track it. So if it gets lost, you know exactly where it is, and you never have to worry about where your luggage is. Well, you might have to worry about how to get it back to you if it's lost, but you know where it is. Tip number 6 is to get TSA, if you're in America, is to get TSA PreCheck or global entry. Now, if you mostly travel domestically, TSA PreCheck is all that you really need. If you travel internationally, I recommend going with global entry because it has TSA PreCheck built into it. But what that does is when you're returning back to the US, it allows you to go to a totally separate line for customs and lets you bypass the customs line altogether. This also helps, I believe, in countries where the American customs are on the foreign side. For instance, in Ireland, you actually can go through customs in the airport in Ireland. So it helps you just get through those customs lines so you don't have those long customs lines when you're home from a long vacation and you're exhausted and you just want to be home and get into your bed. Okay, tip number 7 is to get travel insurance. If you hear nothing else from me today, please, please, please let it sink in to please get travel insurance. Not only does this protect you if your vacation gets canceled or you need to cancel for some reason, or your baggage is lost or stolen or something happens, but it also covers if there's a medical emergency, if you get sick, if you get injured, if you need to be airlifted somewhere. It covers all of that. It also covers if your wallet and passport are stolen someplace in another country, they help get you emergency cash and help you replace your passport. It also has people on the ground customer service. So if you need anything on your trip, you have somebody there that can help guide you and help you get what you need so that you're not stuck on your vacation. Okay, tip number 8 is to sit in the front of the airplane whenever possible. Now, these usually have a little bit of a surcharge, and if you can afford it, I do recommend upgrading because you usually get more legroom, usually get free drinks sometimes, possibly even some free food. But when you sit to the front of the plane, you get to get off first. So if you're going into a customs line, you could be the first one in line because you know those customs lines can get really long. But also in the front, there tends to be a little bit quicker service because when the stewardesses come out, they hit you first. So I usually get a little bit more legroom, a little bit better service or quicker service, and usually can get off the flight pretty quickly and into that customs line a lot quicker than everybody else on the plane. Okay, tip number 9 is to always bring an empty water bottle. So you're not having to buy water bottles once you get to the airport or your destination, and there's always places where you can fill it up for free just about anywhere that you go, whether it's a coffee shop or in the airport or somewhere. But obviously make sure it's empty when you go through TSA or they'll make you dump it out. But always have that with you. There is a brand called Platypus, which I'm gonna put you a picture up here and link in the description below, which collapses, which makes it much easier to pack so you're not carrying a giant, thermos or something like that. But also on that note, I recommend bringing emergency snacks. So if you're like me, I always plan, I get to the airport, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get food as soon as I get to the airport. That's what I'm gonna eat or bring with me on the plane, and then that's gonna be my food. But I have had situations where I've gotten to the airport and food was closed. Nothing was available that was open, or nothing was available that I wanted to eat because I don't like eating a big greasy, McDonald's or Burger King or something right before I get on a flight because I don't want to be miserable over the flight. So always bring emergency snacks. This is good if things are closed and you can't find any food. You have food with you. If you get stuck on a tarmac for extra hours and if something's delayed, then you can also have some snacks. And just anytime you get peckish and you don't have access to food, always bring emergency snacks with your empty water bottle. Okay, tip number 10 is to use FourSquare. Now, this is an app that is location-based. So anytime you're in a certain area, it'll pop up and give you ideas for food, drink, things to do. And it is a place where people can record what their experiences are. So say you're looking for a coffee shop and you're in Berlin, you pull it up, it'll know where you are in Berlin, and it'll give you the coffee shops that are near you and give you a list of what your options are. When you click into it, you can also see some recommendations, you can see some reviews, you can get the information of where they're located, things like that. Also, a little side tip on that is sometimes people will actually write in the Wi-Fi passwords under tips. Sometimes you can get a lot of Wi-Fi passwords by looking in the tips section so that you can get free Wi-Fi when you're traveling abroad. Okay, a bonus tip number 11 is to use Google Maps. Now, a lot of people already use Google Maps, but what you may or may not know is that you can actually download the map of wherever it is that you're going for use offline, because the worst thing that can happen is you're planning to use your phone for all of your navigation, and then you get there and either you run out of data, there's no Wi-Fi, your phone dies, something. I mean, if your phone dies, the offline still won't help you, but you know, things happen and you want to be prepared. So what I always do is I go into Google. In fact, I'll show you how that works here. I go into Google, you look up the city that you're looking for, and then you simply press download and it'll download the map for you. So that way you can download the map for your hotel, for the airport, for the transportation, for whatever activities you're going to do. You have those all available offline so that you can always refer to them at any time. The reason I use Google Maps is it makes it super easy to navigate through the world. So I went to Tokyo last year and I was able to get all of the metro schedules. Anytime I needed to go anywhere, it told me exactly what platform to get on, when to get off, what the next train was, what time to catch it was, how close it was. It was absolutely perfect, because in a place like Tokyo where there are literally thousands of train options and tons of different tracks, and it's very easy to get confused, it helped guide me and I never had any problems. So Google Maps is very cool. Okay, so those were my 10 tips plus a bonus 11th tip. If you found this helpful, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. And as I said, this channel is all about travel tips and tricks, travel inspiration and reviews. So we'd love to have you join us. And in the meantime, I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed these tips, and hopefully we'll be able to get out there and travel soon, since it's still coronavirus where I'm at now. But when you do travel, I want to wish you happy travels and a fantastic day. Bye-bye.